Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad that you are able to participate in the energy community gathering today. And we are conducting solar street lighting revitalization presentation by energy community gathering. In the next 60 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we are glad that you are able to participate in the energy community gathering. In the next 60 minutes, we are going through the welcoming remarks, introduction and presentation, followed by question and answer, as well as some discussion regarding solar street lighting revitalization. Then we can have a conclusion and feedback from you. The event is recording and it will be watched through the YouTube channel. So hopefully you can get valuable knowledge during the presentation and we can get more information regarding solar street lighting. The solar street lighting revitalization is being prepared to be implemented by the government and development partners. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me now to inform you about our program today. So, in the next 5 minutes, we will listen to the welcoming remarks. And then in the next 5 minutes, I will introduce myself to you. And then followed by the presentation regarding solar street lighting revitalization by the energy community gathering. And after that, you can have the opportunity for question and answer. And then we can have some discussion and we will ending with the conclusion. Okay. Now we are going to have welcoming remarks. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the situation where the technology is part of human life and can make the life easier to handle, both in urban and rural areas. But we also need to remember not to misuse the technology and be willing to use it properly and conduct the maintenance in order it's sustained in long term. Solar photovoltaic is the technology which can generate electricity and now become the key and important technology, especially in rural areas. However, the operational and maintenance are not without challenges. The modern and advanced technology needs to be installed and maintained properly. In case in Indonesia, solar street lighting mostly found in broken condition. So that's why the presentation is conducting now. Because the solar street lighting is needed to be revitalized, then it is important because we're gonna have more solar PV technology project will come in. So in order to have better understanding how the technology is working, the condition of solar PV is needed to be revitalized. So that is the welcoming remarks. And now we are going to have introduction. Okay. Before we make an introduction, if you have any question or feedback, you might write it down and then in the chat column so we can discuss after the presentation. Okay. Oh. Okay. So this is now introduction. So my name is Eva Wulandari. So I'm a specialist in energy with substantial experience on developing and manage the program in solar photovoltaic for rural electrification involving the public and private institutions. I am well advanced trained in green banking, majoring in green finance specialist, regional economic development, and sound knowledge in other renewable energy technologies such as LED lighting, microhydro, geothermal, and bioenergy. So you can see here the picture of the solar PV array. So this is solar photovoltaic. So my specialties is managing energy community gathering. Since 2018, with Indonesian government, bilateral and multilateral institution. I'm also managing and developing solar photovoltaic program in rural areas. Solar photovoltaic as the source of electricity. I'm developing and implementing the concept of sustainable solar market package and strategic management for public and private entities in the energy sector. We are also having another two concepts coming in, lighting ASEAN and scaling solar. So that is a brief introduction about myself. And now we are going to have the presentation. We have about 20 minutes for the presentation, and I hope you can follow it through. And again, if you have any feedback or comments, you can just write it down either in YouTube link or in the column chat in Zoom link. Okay. So solar street lighting revitalization. The background is during 2000 and 2019, there were 46,613 unit solar street lighting installation. It is located in the 2,300 kilometers in 258 districts or semi-urban areas. In 2019 only, there were about 19,734 units solar street lighting in 800 kilometers. So almost 20,000 units solar street lighting installed. And then in 2020, the government has target to install 45,000 units of solar street lightings. So I got all the data here from the Ministry of Energy and Ministry Mineral Resources website. Okay. So these are the components of the solar street lighting. What is the reason why we conduct the presentation? So we acknowledge that solar street lighting is good. It is clean and it is also renewable energy. And then having the solar street lighting, it will increase renewable energy portion in energy mix policy. So I think currently is about 12% of renewable energy, and the government would like to increase into the 23 or 25% in the upcoming years. So having solar street lighting is the government strategy to increase the renewable energy portion in energy mix policy. Solar street lighting is also clean energy. Uh, the source of electricity coming from the solar photovoltaic, and the lights is coming from the technology, we call it LED lighting. Solar street lighting is also affordable. The cost is not that expensive as other conventional solar street lighting. So it is cost effective if you install it either in urban or semi-urban or in the rural areas. And then solar street lighting is also less maintenance because it is individual installation. So it is not connected to the grid. So when the solar street lighting is broken, so only that particular equipment which is need to be fixed. The other solar street lighting is not broken. So it's only one individual solar street lighting which is need to be fixed. So that is the good point about the solar street lighting. As I mentioned before, the solar street lighting can be operated even without connected to the grid, unlike the solar street lighting, which is operated through PLN, so they connected to the grid. Okay, now what is the thought or the idea about the solar street lighting? So we understand that during 2011 until 2017, so more than 5 years, there are 142 broken solar PV projects from 708 projects. So apparently the government conducted about 700 project solar PV, and 142 are broken in a broken condition. The project value is 1,017,000,000. So it's a huge number. And then it is also founded that 142 broken projects are the assets from the central government, which is not handed over to the local government, because the central government doesn't feel good to hand over the broken projects to the local government. And then the project value is more than 10 billions. So in order to fix the broken solar PV project, it will need president's approval because it costs more than 10 billions. And then also it is found that from 142 projects, there are 79 projects are broken. So it is also not hand over to the local government. So we have like 708 and then 142 projects broken, and then 79 projects which is not handed over to the local government. So out of 79 projects, there are 63 projects are in broken condition, which the value is 305 billion rupiah. So that's also a lot of money. Okay. So, okay. So from 68 units solar street lighting, there were 55 units are lightly broken. So we divided into heavily broken and lightly broken. So here we can find that 68 are broken, and then the 13 solar PV installation with the value of 43 billions, yeah, heavily broken, and 55 is lightly broken. Okay, and then the value is 261 billions. So from that amount, 20 until 30% are not working. Yeah. So, and then the government support to realize that the damage of the solar street lighting, government conducted the procurement to revitalize the solar street lighting. But there is none of the solar PV company participate in that procurement process. And the government add more budget around 8 billions to conduct the solar PV project revitalization. And until today, I didn't hear any more about the progress. So it is reported on the 2017. Yeah. Okay, based on that number, it is clear that solar street lighting is needed to be revitalized. And then solar PV companies needs to support the government, because if it is not solar PV companies, who else can do the revitalization? If it is conducted by NGO, actually they don't have any capacity, and maybe what is the benefit for the NGO to conduct solar PV revitalization? And for the company, if it is designed properly, which also include the incentive, then it will be the motivation for the solar PV company, because they are motivated by the profit, by the benefit of the project. Okay. So we conduct the analysis, and so at the first step, the broken solar street lighting need to be audited. And after audited, and then it needs to be designed how it is going to be revitalized. So either it is conducted per area, or we can do that at once to revitalize. So it is need to be discussed, and it is both the government and solar PV company need to think how to have the benefit, because the government will be supported by the solar PV company to have solar street lighting in order, and then the solar PV company can get the finance, can get the profit from that activity. Also, the idea is solar street lighting revitalization. We would like to conduct training and workshop in other countries. So it may also encourage the solar PV company and the local government to conduct the solar street lighting revitalization. We can listen more in the presentation. Okay, here. As I mentioned before, that the broken solar street lighting need to be repaired, and it needs solar PV companies paid by the government budget. And then in order to start the revitalization, the solar street lighting need to be audited. And then government need to have a budget that will give profit to the solar PV company. Otherwise, a solar PV company will not do that if the margin of the profit will not be sufficient. So government really need to have a generous budget for the solar street lighting revitalization in order it can be conducted well. And also, the solar PV company need to have the professional technician and prominent solar PV companies. So here you can see that solar street lighting is a good technology, is a good equipment, and it is located in a strategic place. In Jakarta, it is located in Semanggi area on the way to go to the airport. So it is installed by the solar street lighting. But now it is all in the broken condition. None of the solar street lighting is working. So I'm currently working from home, so I'm not really monitor right now how is the condition, but hopefully it's already been revitalized. And then because it is located in a strategic place, people will see the solar street lighting and they will think that, oh, that kind of technology is not good, it's bad, because it is broken and nobody cares about the revitalization of solar street lighting. It is actually a green job and can create job employment, which is green and environmental friendly. So actually it is a good business both from the private sector, and also it will help the government to reach to serve the people. Okay, so this is the chronology of the solar street lighting. So as I mentioned before, that the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources has conducted about 46,000 units solar street lighting installation. So all funded by the government. But in a particular area, Wonogiri is a district, it's a regency. The demand is 3,800, 38,253 unit solar street lighting, but only 5,600 were installed. Okay, so you can see the demand and the supply. There is still the chance to have more solar street lighting to be installed in one district only in Indonesia. And then on 2019, solar street lighting also installed almost 20,000 units. Okay, so you can see that the demand is almost 40,000, but then the local government provided with only 300,000 units, 300 units of solar street lighting. So you can see the demand is really big here. And then the target for 2020 is 45,000 units solar street lighting. Yeah. So, and then in Wonogiri, also in 2020, about 600 units solar street lighting has been installed. So still the demand is bigger than the supply here. Okay, so this is kind of the states of the solar street lighting revitalization project. So first, we need to create the awareness that revitalized solar street lighting is important, is critical, is urgent, and it is need to be done. Okay, and then conducting more awareness event to increase the interest in order the government and solar PV and other stakeholders to revitalize the solar street lighting. And then after the awareness and the interest, it comes to decision. It is also related to the budget. Yeah. So how many solar street lighting need to be revitalized and how it is going to work. And then it comes into the action. And then the action needs to be planned and to be implemented. So in particular, the bilateral cooperation, especially Germany, they also advanced in technology development. So perhaps the Indonesian government can approach the German government and discuss about how the solar street lighting can be revitalized. It also includes not only the equipment, but also the workshop and the training and the long-term maintenance. So it needs to be set up, the bilateral cooperation among the Indonesian government and the German government. Okay. So this is all the process. So yeah, the needs is clear. that solar street lighting need to be revitalized. Sorry, I think okay, so I just read the title here. One moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Okay. So okay, just see the title here. That solar street lighting needs to be revitalized, and it started with the audit, and then the assessment needs to be conducted after reviewing the solar street lighting condition, and then training and workshop can be designed. The participant need to be selected. Not all the participants can come into the workshop and training at once. So it needs to be conducted regularly or in a in a in a pace. So so we can also monitor the progress regularly. And then we can conduct the consultation during the pilot project, and the government need to provide attractive incentive and financial package. Okay. And then, yeah, so the government and development partners currently prepared the Rural Electrification Development Program. So solar street lighting revitalization will be conducted within the program. Okay, so it is a business for the private sector, and for the government, it will improve their public service to the people. So here, the solar street lighting has to function. First, is a business for the company, for the solar PV company, and for the government, it is to reach their target or their mission to serve the people. And then solar street lighting in general will improve the solar PV technology performance image. Okay. So now here the solar street lighting components, it can be conducted by the startup company, but it is needed to be within the prominent solar PV company. So this is all the stages, like for example, conducted the audit and assessment of the current solar street lighting, and then design the product specification. So currently the product specification seems it is in a low quality, so it is not sustained in a long term. And also the procurement process. So for example, the solar street lighting need to be certified in order we will know about the quality of the solar street lighting. And the installation is also need to be proper. So actually the solar street lighting need to be installed in the area where there is no electricity from PLN. But in Indonesia, the solar street lighting is installed even in the area where there is PLN, electricity from the PLN. So that's why the installation also need to be planned, and where is the installation need to be located. And in terms of management, yeah, solar street lighting needs to be managed well, and not to be what you call it after you install and then you just didn't care about the maintenance. So to have a procurement and installation and maintenance, it needs to be managed well. So also, because this is like a project to encourage both the government and solar PV company, it's not only having the procurement budget, but it's good to have also the incentive, so financial incentive that need to be designed, and then it will increase the motivation about the quality assurance if the incentive is really attractive for the solar PV company to do the solar street lighting revitalization. Okay, so this is all the stages. So first, the solar street lighting need to have repaired the basic at least the lighting can be the lighting is still on. So and then the solar PV and the all the components are still in a good condition or it needs to be repaired. So I mean, like the first aid repairman we call it. So like a troubleshooting, yeah. So and then it is need to be audited and to be designed how to do the basic repair. And then after that, the technician, local government, solar PV company can participate into the workshop and training, so they know how to do it properly. Of course, there is a selection process about who will participate in the workshop and training. And after that, there is a pilot project. So workshop and training, if there is no follow-up project, it will be useless. So pilot project need to be conducted also after the workshop and training. So it will involve the management, operation, and maintenance to implement the pilot projects. So this is again about the what you call it, the information about solar street lighting revitalization. So currently, mostly the solar street lighting conducted from the central government and it handed over to the local government for the maintenance. So it needs to be well coordinated. It is not only government, but also the company, the solar PV company. Usually they design and they manage the solar street lighting at the headquarters, and then the implementation is the solar PV company subsidiary in the field, in the rural area or in the district. And then it needs to be audited about the solar street lighting in urban, in semi-urban, or in the coastal area, or in the rural areas. So even in Jakarta, solar street lighting is installed and it is in broken condition, as I mentioned before. So if the government has the willingness to revitalize the solar street lighting, it can also start it from Jakarta because it is like a capital of the country. So actually, it will be easier for the government to manage it, and also the solar PV company, mostly located in Jakarta. So if the revitalization started from Jakarta, it's also easier to manage. Okay. And then product specification, yeah, need to be improved. Even the solar street lighting in Jakarta, the low quality solar street lighting is really need to be increased in order the solar street lighting can be installed for the long term. Yeah, it is a durable equipment, so it needs to be maintenance if the product specification is in good quality, then the solar street lighting can be functioning in the long term. And then the quality assurance can be in the form in the product certification. Government can set up policy and regulation regarding the solar street lighting from the planning, design, procurement, installation, operation, and maintenance. So that can be in the form of government regulation and policy. So this is now the question, why it is important to revitalize solar street lighting? Because first, it improves the expertise, design, and planning of solar street lighting installation. So currently, solar street lighting is in broken condition because perhaps in the past it is not really in proper design and planning. So having revitalization will improve the expertise of the solar street lighting installation. Product specification and installation and maintenance and regular training for the technician will be available. So this is part of solar street lighting revitalization. And also it is needed importantly because it will increase the trust of the technology. If people can see that solar PV, which is previously broken and now it is in a good condition, then people will feel safe if it is broken and now it's already improved. And then after that, solar street lighting in rural areas need to be revitalized because of the image. You know, in rural areas, if they already know that the technology is not working well, the information can be spread rapidly. So why using solar PV if it is not working well, if it is broken, and there is no place to repair it? So that's why it is important to have solar street lighting to be revitalized. And it is also become the key power of renewable energy sources, especially in Indonesia. Because solar street lighting has two key components. First is the solar PV as the electricity generation, and the bulk of the light is coming from the LED technology. Okay, so and then it is cost effective and it is less maintenance and can save electricity rather than having the conventional solar street lighting which connected to the grid. So this is the analysis. So in Indonesia, solar PV, it is not in introduction phase or it is in the emerging phase now. Solar PV industry and electricity is already mature. So most people already knows about the technology, about the solar PV. Yeah. So it is already in a mature stage. And then the opportunity, as I mentioned previously, that the demand is big. The needs are obvious to have solar street lighting, yeah, in an urban or in a rural area. So both needed the solar street lighting. So that is the opportunity. However, the weaknesses is also the solar PV company currently is unwilling to do the revitalization. So this is the challenge for the government, how to attract the solar PV company to do the revitalization. Because if the government doesn't take the responsibility to improve or to revitalize the solar PV, then there will be no solar PV project or solar PV technology come to Indonesia because the people already have the bad image or bad experience about the technology, about the solar PV. Yeah. So the government and the solar PV both really need to work together to have the solar PV revitalized in order the technology can still have a good image about the performance, about the generation of the electricity in urban and in rural areas. As I mentioned, uh, the solar sector, oh yeah, the solar PV company in Indonesia, especially the local company, are still in a small and medium enterprise. Even though the industry is quite mature, I mean, people already know about the solar PV technology, but the company mostly is still in a small and medium enterprise. So their capacity needs to be increased. So having the solar PV, solar street lighting revitalization can encourage the small medium enterprise to increase their capacity. Okay, and the donors also need to be involved here because mostly the solar PV projects coming from the donor finance. So in the previous project of solar PV, the solar PV is installed, and once the project is done, then the solar PV is also found broken because there is no like ground infrastructure, or there is no solar PV network that can repair or that can maintenance the solar PV which already installed by the project, by the donor project. So that's why the donors need also to be informed that they need to be involved during the design of the project in order when the project is done, the solar street lighting or the solar PV installation is still working. So not only during the project time, but also beyond the project time, the solar PV is still found in a good condition. So this is also the key component of the sustainability of the solar street lighting is the after sales service. So after the installation, like what the central government has been done is that they hand it over to the local government, and then the company usually provide only 1 year service maintenance. But during the first 1 year, solar PV is still in a good condition. But what happened after the 1 year warranty? So usually the local government doesn't know how to manage the solar PV installation or the solar street lighting. So that's why the government also need to understand that the solar PV company actually can be hired to provide the service maintenance during the lifetime of the solar street lighting to ensure that solar street lighting is always in a good condition. Also, during the procurement, uh, perhaps because of the lack of knowledge about the product specification, the solar street lighting that we found in a field, in a district, or even in Jakarta, it is in a low quality design. Yeah, there are some in a real estate project that solar street lighting it is in a good condition, but because maybe that is conducted by the private sector, but if it is conducted by the government, it is really not in a good quality of the solar street lighting. So this procurement process also need to be improved. So yeah, so we have learned from the previous discussion, there are 4 factors that need to be considered in solar street lighting or solar PV project in general. So first is the finance, because finance will be correlated with the quality products. And also the institutional, it is need to be clear whether it is central government will be responsible or the local government or the solar PV company. So the institutional need to be arranged that will cover all the government, solar PV company, the local government, the end user. So the institutional need to be designed in a way that will ensure the sustainability of solar street lighting revitalization. And also the technology, like solar PV, they have any kind of specification. So of course, choose the good technology and also the affordability need to be considered in order to have solar street lighting revitalization. And also the social. So the gender issue needs to be addressed. So give more chance to the woman involved in the process from the beginning until the solar street lighting in a maintenance stage and also in a leadership position. So the gender issue needs to be addressed during the solar street lighting revitalization project. So this is the key component of the successful solar street lighting project or revitalization project. So first is the site selection. So solar street lighting is already conducted in several districts, several villages. So we need to really careful choose the location where the solar street lighting revitalization can be started. And also the procurement involving the product specification and proper installation. And the finance, it will be also involved not only the budget, but also the incentive during the solar street lighting revitalization and during the pilot project and even during the lifetime of the solar street lighting. So the finance need to be generously disbursed, but with the purpose to ensure the sustainability of solar street lighting. And then, of course, the monitoring and the evaluation during the stage, during the process is need to be conducted properly. So energy community gathering, we are inform the government and also the solar PV company that solar street lighting need to be revitalized because in other country the solar PV industry is very advanced. Like in Vietnam, the solar PV industry, the consumption of electricity from the solar PV is increased. So in Indonesia, we have a big market. We also have a big demand, and the solar PV should take the opportunity to electrify the country from the clean energy from solar PV. But then the solar PV, which from solar street lighting, need to be revitalized first. Otherwise, yeah, the solar PV industry will be stagnant and will not be increased if the performance of the technology is not improved. So yeah, so especially in a rural electrification development program, we have three concepts, as we mentioned before, is sustainable solar market package, lighting ASEAN, and scaling solar. So all these concepts utilize solar PV and LED lightings. So that's why it is important to have the solar PV revitalization and also the legal documents, because there are several development partners and government institutions, and they need to make the project secure by having the agreement, by having the legal legal documentation to ensure that all the process will be in order and will be in a proper way. Yeah, so these are the concepts: sustainable solar market package, lighting ASEAN, and scaling solar. I'm not talking about the concept in detail right now because we focus on the solar street lighting, revitalization. But then the solar street lighting revitalization will have the sustainable solar market package implement in a revitalization process, because the key the key point of the sustainable solar market package is the availability of the public facility for the community, and solar street lighting is the public facility provided by the government. So that's why the solar street lighting is suitable if it is implemented in a sustainable solar market package concept. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we have, okay. Yeah. So this is now the shortcoming of the existing solar street lighting condition, and that the capital costs are paid on upfront, and after installation service need to be conducted. And currently the private sector role need to be expanded, so not only provide the product but also provide the after sales service, and also give the input to the government about the product specification and about the certified equipment. Okay, so solar street lighting revitalization stages of implementation. It is needed to have a study, and then the broken solar street lighting need to be audited and designed. And then after that come into the workshop and training, and then pilot project, conducted a proper installation, and then all these stages need to be managed well. Okay. Okay, so this is now we come into the capacity building. We have to have the coordination between the central and local for the government and also for the solar PV company, and set up the standard for the product specification, and also involving the training institution, and conducting the pilot project and having continuously improvement. And this is the human resources. So solar street lighting, ideally to have project management unit in order to manage the process of having solar street lighting revitalization from audit, design until the implementation. And then it needs to have solar designer which is qualified, and also the procurement officer need to be trained well, and then having the technician, having the operator, and having the prominent technology providers or the solar PV company with the high ethical business operation and procedures. Okay, so yeah, so this is now we come into the recommendation that the formal rural electrification development program needs to be conducted. So by having the umbrella agreement, MOU, and letter of intent signing ceremony, applying sustainable solar market package concept in solar street lighting, revitalization, in education, and also health sector, having training and workshop as well as a pilot projects, and also applying lighting ASEAN in border area, in selected areas recommended by the government. And applying scaling solar concept, it is also a government project which increase the electrification access in rural areas. So this is now the recommendation, and also the presentation is supported by the board of directors, and we also have informal steering committee, and we have the support and implementation team, and we also supported by, of course, the energy community gathering and the green finance specialist from RENAC Germany alumni. So if you have any question, you can also contact me. This is the contact information about the solar street lighting and about the rural electrification development program, and also about the energy community gathering. So that is about the presentation. And now we are going to have a question and answer if you have that. Okay. Okay, now we are, yeah, we are almost 4 o'clock now. So if you have any question and answer, and we can discuss, and then we can have conclusion about what to be done next.
Community gathering today, and we are conducting.
Okay, and now I think we have all clear about the intention to have solar street lighting revitalization, and then we developed the presentation for the people, and then for the government, for the solar PV company, for the energy community, so they will understand about the importance of having solar street lighting to be revitalized, and will give the benefit for all the end user of the solar PV community. Thank you, and hopefully the information will be valuable and will be useful for all of us. Okay, so that's all the presentation today about the solar street lighting. The energy community gathering, usually we conduct the discussion. Some of them are public and some of them are for the internal purposes. So we will inform you about the development of the rural electrification development program. For now, we end the presentation, and we will see you again with other information which is useful for the solar PV industries. Thank you.